Market update time. Let's get straight into it. Do not place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video today, because trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. There are so many areas you need to become good at to become a good trader. Emotional mastery, chart reading, trading systems, money and trade management. So this video is just educational only to help you become a much better trader. Alright, hey traders, market update time. Let's get straight into it right now. Let me actually just redraw this trend line here. Let's actually do that from there to there. And this is the Dow Jones we're looking at right now. And I would say that that's from there to there, and I would say that that's more like there. So somewhere around about there, I would say that's where that trend line is. But that's pretty much gone, skis. So let's not worry about that. Let's actually look at what's happened in this last week. Okay, we had this sort of movement down, and we had this explosion to the high side. So this is going to be a very telling week, guys. It really, really is. It's like, do we follow through to the high side, or is this a pump and dump type scenario? Because I guarantee you right now, there's so many people getting long right now because like, oh, here we go, the market's going up again, and it's like, is this a pump and then a dump? Before, you know, is this a pump and dump? If it is if that is the case, guys, then yeah, it's then obviously we will know that there's a lot more downside to come. Right now, guys, we don't know, right? We really don't know. Now, the only edge that I can tell you is that we have had an enormous run to the high side. An enormous run to the high side out of nowhere, based on what Donald Trump says. Now, there are so many things that's happening in the markets right now, guys. Like George Soros just got, I think Putin just put on an international arrest warrant for George Soros. Man, that's big news. You know, it's like Hillary Clinton, she knows too much in the government and she's pretty dangerous. So, oh man, there's so much happening behind the scenes. Anyway, the market just absolutely just explodes and just takes off. What's going on there? What's really happening here with the Dow Jones? So that's what's happening with the daily chart. Let's go have a look at the weekly chart. Let's see if we can see anything on the weekly chart. Now, looking on the weekly chart, guys, firstly what I wanted to say is that I did draw a trend line back from this previous peak out here, or this last couple of peaks through here. And you can see that we've actually had a lot of touches through here. So we're actually very close to, if we do get a little rally, maybe even a couple of % rally, we might actually end up hitting that resistance there. The one thing I must say, guys, is that we haven't had a week like this in the Dow Jones where it's just really just super bullish. I can't actually see a week where it was like that. Like we had one. Yeah, I can't actually ever see a week since 2009 since that happened. It's really interesting to see what's going on there, guys. And like, I think the biggest one, like we have one that, you know, we had this big up week here, but you know, we had a big up week. This is the biggest up week, guys, I can actually see for basically since the market's turned around in 2009. So, again, guys, is this a pump and dump? And we will know, or I will know if it is, if certain things happen in the markets. Now, what are those things? Firstly, I want to say we have this high up the top here. This high up the top here, if the market, and again, guys, we need to put the if scenarios because we don't know what's going to happen, okay? People say, if, yeah, it's like, are you an idiot or what? Because we don't know what's going to happen. You know, I'm not claiming to come in here saying I know exactly what's going to happen, but we can go along with flow of the market. If indeed this week the market actually drops down through here and we actually hold and we get a rally, then that's actually a very bullish sign. But if indeed we don't, we actually drop and we actually drop all the way down through there, well, guess what? Now that's likely to be a resistance and we're likely to start doing that. That's scenario number one. That's actually weak, but what is the most weakest sign is that if we do turn around and suddenly we drop all the way down back below 18,000, then we're likely to start seeing this sort of action. You see that? That's what's likely to start causing the big downturn, the real big downturn. Now, if we do get that, a big drop, and we get a bit of a relief rally, I'm telling you right now, guys, that is the sign that's going to start to send this market wild. Because this whole thing here, again, guys, I don't, as a trader myself, guys, whenever the market does this super bullish move out of nowhere, It's like, oh, I don't know about that. You know what I mean? I really do not know about that. That's crazy move. And it's like, is this a pump and dump? We just got to find. We just got to wait and see. Let's actually move into the other indices now, and let's actually go, for example, let's have a look at the S&P. Now this is the S&P. One thing with the S&P, guys, is firstly, look at that line there. What is that line doing there? Firstly, with the S&P, guys, we can actually see that this is the line. That's the point through there. That's the whole point through there, and we see we had a lot of support and resistance going on through there as well too. So this has come to the underlying side of the actual trend line, and now it's hit the resistance, and now it's holding through there. Whether that's going to hold or not, again, we don't know. But looking at this scenario, guys, here's what I'm looking at. We can see that this whole area through here was that indeed support and resistance, and the market's rallied up. Now that's actually quite a bullish sign now, because now we're actually starting to really gain some strength coming up through here. Here's the thing I'm looking for. If we do drop, do we drop down and hold this level and then rally out? If so, we're likely just to continue up and probably break new highs. But if we don't, and we continue down, and we continue going down through here, and we break below and we continue going down, especially if we create a new low, well, that's actually weak, and this whole area through here is likely to rally back up, hit resistance, and then come straight back down. That's what I'm seeing there, guys, on the S&P. Now, looking at the weekly chart, let's go have a look at that weekly chart. Actually, you know what? Let's just use the same chart. Let's have a look at that weekly chart, right? This is the weekly chart. And as you can see, that even with the S&P, it broke the support. Now it's run back up, and it's testing this area of resistance and hasn't broken new highs yet. It has not broken new highs yet. So it's definitely a tricky week. Do we break back above here or not? My thoughts, guys, is that we don't. We actually, what happened last week is going to get totally reversed in the next couple of weeks. That's just what my thoughts are. So let's actually go back to the daily chart. Let's continue down through here. Let's go look at the Nasdaq. As you guys know, I'm still short the Nasdaq, and the Nasdaq is still holding weakness here. It's still rolling over. Really not much going on through there. We'll look at the weekly chart, and we can see that the market is rallying up and rally down. Now it's trying to have a little rally up. I actually think that the Nasdaq starts to fall out of the bed real soon. Looking at that. So let's go have a look at the VIX. The VIX has had a massive pullback through there. I see with the volatility that's happening right now, guys, this thing could be back up at 20 in no time. So transportation average is definitely broken out to the high side. Lots and lots of volume through there. So definitely interesting to see what's going on through there. The Russell 2000, once again, guys, has broken up and break above this resistance. Very bullish sign for the markets. Again, is this a scenario where the market holds? If it does rally down and hold this level, and then we rally back up, that's going to be a very bullish sign. But if we don't, if the market rallies and we keep going down, well, then we're likely to start getting this sort of action. So looking on there and looking at the Russell 2000, so that was the Russell 3000. Look at the Russell 2000. We've made an all-time new high for the year with a massive just explosion move to the high side. Again, guys, is this a pump and dump scenario? I don't know, and it's really hard to say right now. So, you know, sometimes when you don't know what's going on, guys, sometimes you just stand aside. Well, for me, I trade a lot of stocks, so I'm not really trading the indices, but I'm just giving you an update on what the market's doing through there. Really interesting. Okay, so let's go have a look at UUP, the US dollar. And you can see, if I bring up the weekly chart, guys, and let me bring up my weekly trend lines, you can see where the US dollar is right now. It's still hitting this overall underlying resistance line that's been here, big channel to the downside. We broke back down and came straight back up, hitting this overall underlying area of resistance. What's going on there? Really interesting. Looking at the daily chart, we can see we actually held strong and now rally back up to a double top. Is this the double top that holds and we break back down? Again, that's just yet to be seen. And looking at the Australian dollar, guys, we can see the Australian dollar now has this broken now its lowest trough. We had a rally up, we had a high, now we've broken down, made a low. That to me, guys, is now the US dollar is now turning weak. All right, because we had this higher trough. Now it's going to make a lower trough, so we could actually get this sort of action. So it looks like the Australian dollar is starting to get a lot more weaker, and we're breaking past key areas of support. So really interesting through there, guys. If we do break above this sort of 76 level 50 again, guys, well, we know this here, all this was here. If we do know, that if we do start to get this sort of level through here and we break back up, then we do know that this whole thing here was a false breakout, and now we're going to get a powerful move to the high side. So keep an eye out for that. Moving on now to silver and gold. Silver and gold. Now, there's a few things, guys, that I want to share with you, and I want to share with you what I'm seeing here. Let me take everything off the screen here, and I want to share something with you. Silver and gold obviously had just an enormous drop to the downside on silver and gold. Now, here's what I'm looking at here, guys. Obviously, we had an enormous drop to the downside. Is this a flush down before they start to rally up? Here's what I'm looking at. I do know that especially where silver is right now, it actually rallied right down to this sort of key area of support. And you see we actually had a slight little bounce coming off through there. So we did get a flush down, and we're at this key area of support. That's the first thing I do say. The second thing I do say is that may mean nothing by tomorrow, because we may get another flush down. Something big's happening in the markets, but is this a flush down to get people short before they rally up? That's obviously yet to be seen. We don't know, but what we do know is actually it's just come straight back down to this key area of support and resistance, and we're just still holding this overall channel coming to the downside. So that's what I see there on silver, guys. You know, it's really, really, really tricky to see what's happening through there. And if we have a look at the actual silver weekly chart, the silver weekly chart, which is really, really interesting. Let me actually bring up this weekly trend lines through here. You can see how it's broken down through there. Now, this weekly chart, guys, if you have a look, we do know that this whole weekly level through here, the last time it came down, it had a lot of support through here, a lot of support through here, a lot of support through here. So it's definitely holding a lot of support through there. We don't know whether that's going to hold or not, so it's really, really, really interesting to see. We're definitely at a tricky territory right now, guys. But all I do say, guys, is what's going to tell me that this thing is now ready to rally and ready to rally hard is gold. Gold is the key for me. Now, what do I mean by that? Is that let me actually go back. Let me actually bring back the daily chart, and let me actually bring up gold here. All right, so I want to bring up gold, and we can see we actually rallied up through here, and we had this big flush down. Now we had this big flush down with gold, and we can actually see what's happening through here. Now, here's what I'm seeing right now, guys. Looking at gold, we can see that we had this sort of quite a significant area of support through here, okay? You can see how it actually came down, bounced up that level of support, and we had this big flush down. Now, here's what I'm saying. If very early on, in the next couple of days, we suddenly get a big rally back up and we rally back up through here, well, we're likely to come down, and then we're likely to start going back up. This here, if that happens, guys, this here is going to be a false breakout. It's going to be a false breakout, or what we call a sucker rally, a drop to the downside, and then it reverses. If that reverses, I like to call this a stop and reverse move. It generally happens when the trend is starting to change. So we have this low, we break the low. If the sellers are strong enough, they're going to continue to break that down and continue to drop that down to the downside, right? We know that. If the sellers are strong enough, they're going to continue down. And if that's the case, you know, all bets are off for the buyers at the moment. But if the buyers hold it and then continue to rally back up and we break back above, especially this whole area through here of support, that's now not resistant, breaks back up. This is now likely to be an area of support, and now we're likely to rally back up and rally hard moving into the end of the year, because this is now a reversal pattern, and you can see that's what happened that's what happened last time, guys. If you go back and have a look at this point through here. Now let me just show you. If I show you this point through here, you can see how we had this overall major low point through here, guys. Actually, a couple of major low points through there. We see we actually had a couple of major low points through there. You can see we actually dropped down through here, and then we popped back out. So we had a lot of support through here, and now the market has actually broke back down, and then it rallied back out. Whenever that happens, guys, it's generally a reversal of trend, at least for the short term. Now, you guys, you can see this happening time and time again. You can see this overall major high point up through here, right? We had this major high point up through here, and what happened? The market broke back up. It broke back up to the new highs, so it rallied right back up. It broke new highs. It couldn't hold it. We actually dropped back down. This here was more like an exhaustion move than a continuation move. We broke back to new highs. Everyone got excited, and then guess what? The market broke back down, hit resistance, and then we actually dropped back down. So you can see how this works time and time and time again. And you can see even recently, what should I say? That's what's happening with the gold. So if gold does that, guys, rest assured the buyers are likely to come back in. We're likely to break this in. We're likely to see some strong moves to the high side, and that's what we're looking for. Is this more like an exhaustion break before we rally back out to get people completely on the short levels? Well, again, that's what I'm looking for. Now, if you go look at the Dow Jones, this the exact same thing happened on the Dow Jones, guys, and you can see exactly how this works, right? And again, everything is in the charts. We just got to read them. You can see how on the actual charts here, what do we have? We had this whole major area of support. We had this whole major area of support. You can see how we actually had, looking through here, right? We had the market. Let me actually just do this. We had see that the market actually found support through here, lots and lots of support through here. You can see how this market actually broke back down, right? We broke back down past this level of support, and then we broke back down past the level of support. Guess what happened? The market then bounced back up and it continued rally up. This was a more like an exhaustion, more like get people short because we're breaking past this level of support, and then we broke back up and we continued to rally. So everyone that got short through here is now getting their head handed to them through there. So this is why, guys, it's so important to trade as a trader, with that we bend and we mold and we continue to go with the market. We continue to go with what the market is telling us. You know, you can see, once again, guys, you can see up here, right? What do we have? We had this overall major high point up through here. You can see we had this major high point up through here. We broke back up just slightly to a new high, and then suddenly we started dropping down through there. That's generally what will happen if the market's going to continue down. And if you go have a look at any chart through there, that's generally what will actually happen. You know, if let me bring up so let me have a look at, let me go back to silver and gold here for a minute. I want to share something with you based on that technique, guys, okay? Because again, guys, this is what trading is really all about. So let me go back to this point through here, and I want to share something with you. So if I go back to early last year, or late last year, should I say, in silver and gold, before the market actually took off, let me show you what, you know, this whole stop and reverse pattern, because it just works wonders when you actually see it. Right? And again, it doesn't mean it's going to completely reverse it, but you can see this time and time again, guys, and this is why it's important to really hold this here. You can see here, guys, that we had this rally down, and this was the last support level. So this whole level through here, as you can see, what was that whole level through there? That whole level basically through there was a support level, right? Support level through there, support level through there. You can see now here that we had this whole false breakout through here. The market dropped back down, and actually this is what got people short. Found support, then took off. Okay, and then the market actually took off through there. You can see how this totally does this all the time. When you look at this, you can see this. This was the last high up the top here. As you can see, this was the last high up the top here. What happened? The market broke back up, went sideways, then broke back down. No follow through. No follow through is a weak thing, right? A weak move. Let's go have a look at gold here for a minute. Let's see what actually happened with gold last time it actually broke back down. Right, so you can see through here. Let's have a look through here. Right, so you can see, look what happened through here on gold. Right, we had this last, well, this was the low through there, wasn't it? We had that breakdown, we had come back up, we had another flush down, and then we actually found support and we actually continued to rally up. Made a higher peak, higher trough, and then the market took off through there. So you can see it didn't exactly do that, but you can see time and time again, guys, look at this high up the top here, right? The last major high, it broke back up to a new high. That was the new high compared to this high over here. And again, you're trying to look at like the previous resistance of it. Broke back up, came back down, found support, went sideways for a while, and then dropped back down. There was no follow through. So guys, keep an eye out for that with silver and gold this week, and keep an eye out for that with the Dow Jones. You can see I'm giving you example after example after example, because this is what it's all about. So anyway, guys, that's it for me. If you'd like to get some coaching from me, guys, I'm doing a coaching call. There should be a link in the description. Go click on that coaching call button. Go check it out, and yeah, maybe I can, you know, and if you're looking for a trading plan and look at that sort of stuff, and I know that I can definitely help you out. So click on that link, go book a coaching call with me, and I'll see you soon. Remember, success can be yours if you go claim it. So step up, take massive action, and face your fears today. I'm not going to BS you here. Trading is hard. Over my 10 years of trading, I've learned some amazing systems and strategies, and I've put it all in my brand new Grab the Markets by the Balls course, and I'm giving you 100% free access. This whole course is 12 videos long and almost 10 hours of the best systems and strategies that I know. Click on the image below now to get 100% free access right now.